Are you stuck between a rock and a hard place? Are you lost with little direction? Do you run round asking psychics for guidance? You know, are you feeling trapped in your life? When you look around, do you see that there are perfect families, but they just don't happen to be yours? You know, I used to be just like you. I've spent 2/3 of my life looking around saying, hey, there's a brilliant family over there. Look, they've got 2.5 kids, a beautiful house, the fabulous husband. And then a few years later, all of a sudden, the kids are rat bags, they're teenagers, they're running around, on drugs. The husband's left or he's out with a mistress, and the woman's just sitting there just bleeding to death. It really doesn't have to be like that. If you married Prince Charming and was absolutely madly in love, only to find out that Prince Charming wasn't quite all you thought he was going to be, that Prince Charming wasn't here to rescue it all. Actually, he was wading in his own stuff, trying to just make things work. If your life is not panning out, are you ready to disturb the universe? The hardest part of life is deciding whether to walk away or whether to try harder. Because you're at this webinar, I believe that you're not ready to walk away. You're ready to make a difference in your life, and I'm here to show you how you can make that difference. Welcome to the Clarity webinar. My dream is I want to help women who want to make more money, lose weight, build lasting relationships, and heal past hurts. And I'm talking about real women who want to let go of past feelings, emotions, and beliefs that are stopping them from creating a fun and happy and fulfilled life. Women who demand a better life, who are not content spending life creating more pain and suffering or being held hostage by their mind. Yes, and I did say their mind. Stay to the end of this webinar and I'll tell you a really, really cool secret. I've done a lot of things right. I've, had very successful businesses. I've won awards. I've written books. I've been in magazines. I've worked with celebrities. I've been on different TV shows. And do you know what? I have done a lot of things wrong as well. But I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, let me introduce myself. I'm Kerry Mersell. I've followed my spiritual path for over 40 years. I'm an accomplished author, publisher, facilitator and reader. I've owned and operated successful award-winning businesses for over 25 years, Renovator of the Year, Your Property Magazine, successful companies. I'm an enthusiastic public speaker. It's my favourite thing to do, and I've done that for years. I've made a difference in Cambodia with Habitat for Humanity, and currently I'm supporting an orphanage in Nepal, and I'm always supporting Kiva. So, I have done a lot of things wrong, and one of the worst things that I did was ignore my health. And I was barely able to walk. Back at the end of 2016, I was trying to make money in my business, developing and renovating property, and oh man, I was in such pain. I wanted to be able to be self-sufficient. I didn't want to, take a handout from the government, and I just wanted to keep my business running and support myself. But my health kept getting worse and worse and worse, and I just wouldn't stop. I was given all the signs, but I was just so stubborn. I just refused to look at what was happening. And to make matters worse, I couldn't even sleep at night The weight of the doona on my body created such pain. It was excruciating. So I went to the doctors and doctors and doctors, and then went specialists and all the rest. And by the time I got to the end of the journey, the specialist looked at me and he said, "What you need to do, Kerry, is I'm going to give you a script, and we're going to give you a needle that you can inject in your leg once a week." He said, "You know, normally you won't have a real good day that day." He said, "Maybe even the next day it won't be good." But he said, "You will have 5 days where you'll be able to get up and get round, and they'll be good. And then the Monday comes again, you have to inject yourself in the leg again." And I looked at him and I said, "You know what, that's not a way to live, that's a way to die." And I walked out of his office, and I just knew I had to do something different. And so what I found is a marvellous way of changing your life by releasing old thoughts and baggage. So clarity is a fabulous tool. Have your questions answered, reveal your future, and reveal past emotions just like magic. It's a card and board set. It's very, very simple to learn. I've got online video tutorials, and I created clarity because I am so passionate about releasing baggage. It got me out of bed and to where I am now. So how does this apply to you? Well, you know, life was demanding that I change what I ate, change what I did for a living, change the way I thought, change what I ate. Oh man, change what I ate. I've tried so many different eating strategies, and finally I've come up with one that works for me. But do you want to wait, like I did, for an absolute critical thing to happen in your life before you change? Or would you like to do something here and now to start living the life of your dreams? Well, that's what I'm going to talk about at this webinar. So here's the results of the change that I actually had. I've got a brand new business, and I'm really excited about my future. I'm walking around and feeling hundreds of times better. I've let go of people who've been destructive in my life, and I continue to let go of people who've been destructive in my life. I love me more than I ever have before. I know that any adversity that comes into my life I can deal with. Actually, it's a gift, and I'll explain that later. Everybody, especially those who saw me crippled, say how well I look. And I feel well. I feel excited. I feel alive. So, what we're going to cover today, we're going to cover wealth, health, business, relationships, spirituality, and emotional baggage. And this is, I've got 6 different stories that I'm going to tell you about, and real life stories they are. The only thing I've changed is the names of the people, so that, you know, it's just not right for me to go and talk about other people's personal lives and how I've worked with them. So I've got a different name for who they are, but all the stories are true. And this is what really excites me, and you too can have a bit of this. So let's start with the money game. Now, in my business, what I've noticed is that money seems to be what people focus on so much. Most people don't even know how they interact with money. All they sort of do is know that they don't have enough money, and they'd like more money. They'd like the holiday or the kids' toys or whatever. And so what I did, I created the money game, where we actually play with money and interact with money and work out our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs around money. And this is what I did with this group of people, and it's just such a fun thing to do. And I'm doing workshops in the future where the money game is being played, and I'm certainly going to invite you to one of those games. But the money game, the best part about it is that once you find out what thoughts, feelings, and beliefs aren't working for you around money, you get to release them, and you get to release them really quickly and really easily. So with the money game, I've played it so many times, but I played it with a very small group of people, about 10 women in the room, and and it was really cool because what we did was we did a lot of releasing in the money game. They really got a lot out of it, and I got in touch with the women after they played the money game, and every single one of them had more money come to them into their life the following week. But what was really interesting was that those people who all got more money come to them into their lives, none of them continued on to do the releasing around their baggage so that the money kept on coming. So what they've done is they just had a very brief experience with me, but they didn't continue. And that's really, really the crux of it. I can teach you how to do this in probably less than 10 minutes. But the whole point of the exercise is for you to keep on doing this. So because your baggage, it's taken you millennium to get it, and it's in layers, and your baggage it peels off in layers. So some things you can do, it just takes one release, you're done, you feel great, and that's it. But other things, it comes from a place where you don't even know when it came from. Who here can remember when they were 6 months old, for example? I can't. I can remember from when I was 3. So there's 3 years that I've had in my life. I can't remember being in the womb either. So there's 3 years plus the 9 months in there. I can't remember. And even from 3 years old up until 7 years old, it's very sketchy. It's, you're developing in that stage, and all these things are happening to you in your life where you make beliefs around. And those beliefs you carry until the day you die unless you make a change. So some conscious, creative, wonderful women might think, I don't understand how this will work for me. Well, I've just told you a story about money. And all those women in that room made more money that week. They came to them in various ways, some in their businesses, some, they got a check in the mail that they weren't expecting, all sorts of different ways. And that's just one tiny piece of the puzzle. Now, let me tell you about Sandy. Sandy, in her mid-90s, had a heart attack. And this heart attack was incredibly severe. It was, Sandy was put in hospital for months, and, it really was very severe. And there's been so many implications from that heart attack, like blurred vision, trouble in walking, all sorts of things. And what Sandy did, Sandy has taken the doctor's road, which is fantastic. However, once Sandy has sort of moved along her path a bit, she chose to take control of her life, and she started releasing around the emotions and the hurt and some of the things that actually caused Sandy to have that heart attack. Now, her body had that heart attack, but the catalyst was all her beliefs, thoughts and feelings beyond that. And the heart attack was a gift to Sandy. And I said I'll talk to you about gifts later, and I will. It was a gift to Sandy, and that pulled Sandy up, and Sandy said, I've got to make a difference in my life. I cannot keep doing what I've been doing. Sandy was incredibly overweight, and so Sandy spent time working on her weight, but she also, what she did was relieve those beliefs and feelings around her weight, around her health. And Sandy, I was speaking to her the other day, told me that she spent 2 days, one on an island, the other on the beach last week, was feeling wonderful after years of pain, and just had the most wonderful, wonderful day. And it depends what you want in life. Do you want to lose weight? What do you want? Do you want more money? Do you want to travel? I don't know what you want, but whatever you choose, you can have. However, you have to remove what's stopping you from getting that, from moving forward. So you might be thinking, I really don't understand how this works. Well, how it works is you are not the mind and the body, your consciousness, your spirit, eternal light, or whatever you want to call it. And you're having a human experience. Your consciousness is the love that you feel in your heart. You can connect to that love right here and right now, because the love is always there. Your body and mind is just part of your human experience. So the truth is, the only thing that's stopping you from having everything you want are your thoughts and beliefs and feelings. So the question would be, how do you create new beliefs? Well, I can show you that, but what I want to do is work with you and help you do that. Just showing you that and leaving you to your own devices, you might find that you actually don't use what I've shown you. So let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying the webinar so far? Well, I certainly am. So, who wants some of what the people I've just told you have? Who wants some of what I have? Now, I'm going to offer you the red or the blue pill. And I am deadly serious when I offer you this. I can tell you that my life has totally transformed from where I was back in 2016. So if you think you might want to come on this journey with me, be prepared for changes. And what you just might find is that you are living the life of your dreams. The only thing is, you have to choose. Do you want to stay where you are, or do you want to come with me? Now, as I said before, I am looking for motivated women who are willing and ready to make a difference. I don't want tire kickers, I really don't. And if you're that woman, please follow me through this webinar. I'll tell you all about the rest of the people that I've worked with, and we'll see how it all pans out. So, introducing the Clarity Club. Now, membership for the Clarity Club includes a whole bunch of stuff. It includes automatically invites to tuition days, to the club, to expos, fairs, social events. Now, I live in Brisbane, Queensland in Australia, and if you aren't living in this area, if you're in America or somewhere else, what we do is any of the events we actually video, and so those videos are given to you. I actually am contactable, and I do live events as part of the club so that you can talk to me, and I make sure I'm there for you to transform. I give you all the tools you need, and I support you in this. So we have a private Facebook group where you can ask questions. I check in every day, providing I've got internet access or I'm not travelling somewhere. And when I have my live events, and I've got several of them scheduled this year, what I do is I choose you to have your question answered and a release so that you work one-on-one with me. Now, as I said, if you're not in Brisbane, or you're not able to get to Brisbane, I will give you 3 Facebook priority readings. They take, it just depends on what release we do with that, and you can do those, whenever you want over the period of time. You just ask your question, and I'll work with you, and I'll record that so that it's up there for you to see. Now, exclusive entry into the Clarity membership site. So I do have a membership site. As things come to hand, new things go onto that site. We have an 8-part advanced video tutorial which shows you exactly how to use Clarity, and personal invites to any online events. This is an online event. I'll do live webinars in the future, and an invitation to be qualified to be a Clarity certified reader. Now, it is a prerequisite. If you become inspired in the Clarity Club, and I really hope you do, what I will do is offer you to become a certified facilitator, which means you will set up your own business, and that business is from home, so you can do readings online, you can do readings at events. It depends whether you're computer savvy or not, and it depends how much you want to work or not. So that's another product that I'm not going to talk about in this webinar, but I just wanted to mention it, that to be to have a business in Clarity, you need to be already a Clarity Club member. Now, I offer 30 days proof and guarantee. If you're not happy within 30 days, I'll give you all I have. I really will. And if you're not happy in 30 days and you're not happy with the process or how it works or you know, how it looks, or if you don't think you've released or whatever, I will give you your money back. That is not a problem. And anything I've sent you, all you have to do is send that back to me and you will receive your money back. Not a problem. Okay, so let me talk about Greg. Now, he was a very astute businessman, had a business for 20 odd years and was doing incredibly well, and he decided to franchise it. And what happened, he went over to a country overseas, and they paid him a couple of $100,000 to set up this franchise in the country, and they were just blown away by his product. And so he ended up living over there for a period of time, and they got him to set up another one, and he's setting up another one, and they're raking in the money. Anyway, $2 million later, they still haven't paid Greg any more money. And Greg said to them, come on, you've got to pay me the money. I'm not doing any more work. And so what they did, they went and they bribed the judge, and the judge wanted to send him to jail. Not that he'd done anything, so he ended up getting in touch with the Australian Embassy, and the Australian Embassy was involved, and they were looking after him because he'd had death threats, and it just went so pear-shaped it wasn't funny. Anyway, he ended up coming back to Australia. He'd lost all his money. It cost him a huge amount of money, and he had to borrow some money back in Australia so he could set up a new business, so he could keep his business going. And what happens now, if he flies back into the country, he immediately goes to jail because that judge has a court order on him. Now, I don't know about you, but this man is just amazing that he's come through all that, and he's still the same beautiful, charming man that I knew before all this started. And I said to him, Greg, don't you think it's interesting that this has happened? I said, who do you know who you've been ripped off. Who do you know who, in your family, who rips people off? And he said, oh, my father, he was a terrible man. He ripped everybody off. And I said, well, isn't it interesting that you keep attracting being ripped off? And I said, man, this is the biggest rip-off you've attracted. And I said, now you've gone and set up another business. How's that going to work for you? Like, how are you going to not get ripped off again? And he said, I don't know. I said, look, Greg, let me work with you. I said, it won't take long. Truly, it didn't take more than, I think, half an hour with Greg. It won't take long. Let's just have a little look around and see what's happening. Anyway, when we did the release with Greg, it was absolutely amazing. Now, Greg is a big man, like he's, a big man, like nearly 6 foot tall and really heavy and that. And when he did the release, he just started laughing. Now, releasing comes in all sorts of forms, but with Greg it was laughing and burping and he just went, man, oh man. But before he released, I said to him, Greg, just tell me what you're feeling right here, right now. And he said, I feel numb, absolutely numb. And you gotta feel sorry for the guy. He's just had years of work. He's lost $2 million, lost years of work. He's in exile from a country where it's obviously corrupt, and he couldn't, he's just been ripped off big time. And he said, I just feel numb. He said, and it had happened months ago. And I said, okay, Greg, well, let's release that numbness. Anyway, it was just such the biggest release for him. And at the end of it, I said, how do you feel? He said, I feel amazing. He said, I just feel so light. He said, it's gone. It's all gone. So wouldn't you want a bit of that? Wouldn't you want a bit of whatever's happening in your mind, that you can just bang, release it and feel better about it instantly? Anything that happens in my life, I can release on the fly, and I feel better about it instantly. And that's what happened with Greg. Anyway, after I got off the phone, he was so grateful. He just powered on, and I haven't actually contacted him again. I will soon, I think, and just to check in. Anyway, so many people think, and I mean many conscious, creative, wonderful women think, I wonder if this will work for me. So I've already shared the story about Greg, and I guarantee it will work for you, and you will feel it, and you'll feel it in your body. Maybe not like Greg did. The way I feel it is that if when I'm releasing, often my body shakes. It's the energy trying to escape, and I cry. Sometimes the grief is just overwhelming, but once it's gone, I have the most amazing feeling of peace. Just peace. It's just so beautiful. And what's really cool is I get up and go out, and I can just face the day with such a big smile on my face. So that's how I operate. Now, here's here's one on relationships. I don't know how many of you here are married, or got friends, or that you're having a situation with. Well, I want to tell you about Jan and Don. They'd been married for over 40 years, and man, I don't know if you know anybody like this, but they don't care where they fight. If they're in public and something's going down, they just don't care. It's just on for young and old. And it got to a point where Jan just thought, do you know what? I don't know if I want to be in this relationship any longer. They were having financial issues. Don was having health issues, and it just was the stress. Don had created a disease, and he had to keep sleeping all the time, and the stress in their life, it was just absolutely terrible for both of them. And you could see that they were both really struggling just to pull themselves through the day. Anyway, what happened was I came along, and I both of them had a reading with clarity. We did releasing around relationships and how they were, and I will tell you now that they are together still today, that they are they can now choose whether they're angry at each other or not. They both release, and it's absolutely wonderful to see that they're now decided that they're going to hang together and actually work on their relationship rather than work on which direction they were both going. So if you're having relationship issues, clarity is just an amazing way for you to sort these out very quickly. Even your partner does not have to be enrolled in this. If you just enroll in this, that's all you need. All you have to do is change, and everybody will change around you. So I'm not who you think I am. And do you know what? Other people who come to you in adversity are a gift. And I said I'd speak to you about gifts, and think about who brings you a gift. Now, let me explain. If you have, say a friend of yours is, I don't know, so she keeps on doing something that's really annoying. I don't know, think of somebody. Somebody. Everybody here knows somebody who either somebody in your workplace, somebody, a friend, a partner. Every partner does something annoying. Think of that annoying thing. Now, can you imagine them bringing that to you as a gift, which is what they're doing? Because that annoyance isn't their thing, it's actually your thing. So what they're showing you is, here is something that's happening to you internally. You have a thought, belief, or feeling around this, and that gives you the opportunity to let it go. So if you've got somebody who's very angry at you, maybe your partner shouts at you, right, and you get upset about that, it's your anger inside, and what they're doing is showing you that anger so that you have the opportunity to let it go. So just imagine you let that anger go. How would your relationship look? It would look completely different, because you've already let the anger go within you, so you don't need somebody outside of you saying, hey, this is your anger. They're not saying this is your anger. They're being angry, right? They're feeling angry, but they're giving it to you as a gift. So the day that you remove anger from your life will be the day they stop yelling at you. Or it might be the day you leave, or it might be the day, something else happens. I don't know what's going to happen. But as soon as you change you, everything else around you has to change. So I'm going to ask you here and now, what gift is somebody giving you in your life? What adversity are you in? It could be money's giving you a gift. It could be your work giving you a gift. You may hate your job. It's giving you a gift. That's the adversity that you're feeling inside you. If you let go of hating your job, what's going to happen? You're going to open the doors to either a new job, or you're going to open the door to acceptance, where you just have the most wonderful job, and you'll see when you go into your work, the people around you will respond differently to you because you're coming from a place of love, not a place of stress or a place of anxiousness. Okay, so here we go. The membership for the Clarity Club. The inclusions, which I've said before, automatic clarity invites, the support group, private Facebook support group, being chosen at a live event to have your questions answered with a release, 3 Facebook priority readings, exclusive entry to the membership site, an 8-part advanced video tuition, personal invite to online events, and an invitation to be a Clarity certified reader. Now, that comes in at nearly $2,000 value. I am asking $297 plus $27 per week as a membership bill. Now, that would be billed monthly. Everybody can afford this. It is just such value for money. It is a life-changing event, and I'm going to support you in changing your life. Now, here's one, Joan. I just love this story. Joan was a closet spiritualist. Now, what happened? What happened with Joan is that she has a whole bunch of people in spirit come and go all the time. So, for example, she might go shopping, right? And she'll be standing there ready to pay her money at the checkout, and the checkout woman's mother will appear to her. And the checkout woman's mother will say, "Can you tell my daughter that," and give her a message. And Joan will say, "I can't tell your daughter that. She'll think I'm a fruit moon." And the passed on mother will say, "Yes, but you have to. And this, well, everywhere Joan goes, she gets messages from people in spirit. And I spoke to her months ago, and I said, "Look, Joan, you should really get this out here." I said, there are people who have had their loved ones passed over, and they're desperate for anything from them, absolutely anything. And I said, you have this natural ability. I said, you keep sending all these people away and saying, no, you're not going to pass that message on. I said, but these people actually need it. I said, you need to get on platform and start doing this work, because so many people are hurting. And I said, I'll help you with it. I said, I'll even, run a, workshop with you. And she said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not ready for it. I don't want to do it. There is no way I'm going to do it. And I said, okay, matey, it's your, it's what you want to do. That's fine. Anyway, I was at I run a business meeting, and I was at a business meeting with her. And I'd worked with Clarity for a fair bit with her, and we at my business meeting, we go around the table and all check in, and so we checked in with her, and she looked at everybody, and she stood up and she said, I'm going to come out, and she said, I'd like to tell everybody that I'm a medium, that I speak to spirit, and I often have spirit come to me and want me to pass messages on to the people who are on this plane. And I've never ever told anybody that in my whole life. So simply because of Clarity, Joan has been able to open her world up to release all the baggage and all the thoughts and feelings and beliefs around her being a medium, and now she's ready to step out and ready to help other people in their life who have had people pass over. And that, to me, that just makes my heart sing. just such a lovely story, and I wish Joan all the best. I really do. So, you know, it's just something, you know, it was courage for her, and she found the courage deep within to make that happen. So here we go. We've got Sandy now. Oh man, Sandy at nearly 60, she had kept quiet most of her life, you know, and her boss bullied her, her manager bullied her, she hated her job. You know, she, at her job, she was doing three people's job and getting paid for half a person. And she just, you know, often she'd cry. She said to me, "Do you know what? I used to stand on the door before I went into work, and I'd nearly feel like I was going to throw up. I felt sick in the stomach." And then her health started declining, and she, you know, started getting doctor checks and things like that. But she still kept on going into her job. Anyway, so I got her onto Clarity, and one day she just went, enough's enough. And she made it up in her mind, and she said, it's absolutely amazing. She said, all I have to do is do a release before I go in the door. She said, I don't have the butterfly feelings. I don't feel sick. And she said, this day, she said, I was just sick of the way they treated me. And so what I did was, I said, I just walked in. She said, I did a release about giving my notice, and while I was at work, and I just went up to the boss and I just gave my notice right there, right then, and I said, that's it, I'm done. And she said, I didn't feel afraid or nervous. She stayed calm. She didn't have the sick feeling in her stomach, and she just smiled. Now, how cool is that? Can you imagine if you've got kids and they're getting bullied at school, right? Wouldn't this be an amazing tool for you to show your kids how they can stop? You know, how they can't stop the bullying. The only person that you can change is you, but they can certainly change them, so they can feel better about being bullied, and they don't need to make all these beliefs around, you know, big tall kids, people who are big in life are bullies, because that's not the truth. But that may be a story that they've made up, and they don't need to make these stories. So if you endorse Clarity, you can help your kids with this stuff, because it's just so simple. You can do it on the fly, and it makes a difference. And kids are the easiest to work with, absolutely the easiest. So how are we traveling here? I just, man, I'm just so excited about this. You know, we covered the money game. So if you've got money issues or money beliefs that you need to flick, we can certainly do that one. We covered Sam with the heart attack. We covered Greg with the loss of $2 million in his business. Relationships with Jan and Don, and then Joan the medium. How cool is that? And now Sandy, out there, different place, different woman, different space, and it's absolutely amazing. So are you living the life of your dreams? Because if you're not, you can make a change, and you can make a change here and now. So I'm really going to help you make more money. If you want to lose weight or put on weight, or if you're not happy with any of your body image, we can certainly release on that one. Build lasting relationships, heal past hurts. How you going with your family? Like, I mean, family is a big one. Like, they're the ones that really, especially unconscious family, who are just fighting within himself, all trying to get a piece of the pie. You know, it's not you, it's them. So why don't you change the way you feel about them and let them do whatever they want to do, but you're certainly going to feel great. So how about we let go of past feelings and emotions and beliefs that are stopping you from creating a fun, happy and fulfilled life? You know, 99.9%, and look, I'd be tempted to say 100%, but someone will call me on it, so I'm not. But they can actually feel it happening in their body. And, you know, the way I feel it around my solar plexus or plexus or my stomach, and I feel it. It feels like there's a rat inside my stomach as it moves around. Different people feel it differently. I had another lady, she said to me, she said, oh, it started in my stomach, but it moved to my heart. And she said, now it's moved from my heart and it's in my throat. And I said, that's all right, it's just moving up and out. And she sort of got a little bit, oh my God, it's moving back. And then all of a sudden, and she said, it's gone. And I said, well, how do you feel now? She said, I feel at peace. And that's exactly how it works. Once it leaves from my solar plexus, I normally, as I said before, I normally shake and it just leaves my body and I feel the most loving and beautiful peace, because that's me connecting to my consciousness. And that stays with me. That stays with me throughout the day and the next day and the next day. And whatever I've released on and releasing on my health and the beliefs around my health, that's how I've managed to get from where I was to where I am now. And I'm just getting better and better and better. So you don't need to keep being held hostage by your mind. And that's what's happening. You've got this mind saying, should you really do this? And then you've got, the other mind saying, oh, yes, but we want to do this. Yeah, but should you really? Oh, it may not work. I don't think it will work. It didn't work for somebody. All this stuff's happening in your head. You don't need it to happen. So who does this work for? Well, it works for anybody in less than a few minutes a day who want to change how they feel about any situation. Now, as I said, it can come in layers depending upon how many thoughts, beliefs and feelings you have around the situation. However, what I can say, as long as you just keep releasing on whatever that is that you want, guess what? It will change. It will change you and it will change your life. So if you're looking for change and aren't resistance to change, and even if you are resistant to change, you can do a release about releasing on change. So whatever is present in your life, we can do releasing around. So I just want to point out some things why people don't get started. And you might be thinking that you can't get started because you've never been able to connect to your consciousness, or you're not psychic, or it's never going to happen for me. Well, good news. It will happen for you. You don't have to visualize or meditate or chant or or do anything. Your consciousness does the work. So you're handing your power over to your consciousness, and your consciousness does everything for you. So that's so easy. It is just so easy. And as I said, if you don't understand or you don't get it, I'll help you understand. And if you do understand then and still can't do it, I'll give you your money back. There's no problem. I want to change the world one person at a time. I've taken my whole life to get here. So if you resonate with me, I guarantee you get everything I have. I mean everything. I'm going to pull out all the stops. Every step of the way, I mean. And this is finally a tool that connects you to your consciousness so that you can feel the magic of life. Something you can share with your friends and family, and it'll change their lives too if they embrace it. Okay, the Clarity Club, I had to go through laying in bed for months in excruciating pain to work this out. But you won't have to, because I'm going to give it to you on a platter. Now, if all Clarity did was show you exactly how to change your life and finally start living, would it be worth it to you? If all this did was give you peace of mind, wouldn't it be worth it? If all Clarity did was stop that anxious feeling that you get from time to time, wouldn't it be worth it? If all Clarity did was help you start loving yourself more than you have ever done before, wouldn't it be worth it? Okay, so if you're unable to make more money, lose weight, build lasting relationships, heal past hurts, what would that be worth to you? How about if you could let go of past feelings, emotions and beliefs that are stopping you from creating a fun and happy and fulfilled life? What would that be worth to you? The real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check it out? Even if it only does half of what I've claimed today and you start feeling better now, wouldn't that be great? 99% of people feel it happening in their body right away. Okay, so here we go. Here are the inclusions for the Clarity Club. I've already said it a couple of times. Nearly $2,000 in value, and I'm doing it for $297 plus $27 per week membership billed monthly, and as if this offer wasn't amazing enough, I've got another bonus for you. Oh, I just love giving things. I want to give you 3 months of membership for free. Okay, that's 3 months of membership for free. $324 in value. So, you know, my clients have told me that the biggest breakthrough has been the ability to change the way they feel under pressure or when they feel out of control. Do you get depression? Are you stressed? Like, you know, depression is rampant in our society at the moment. But you know what? You can release. And when you release your feelings, it's just going to make you feel better. Now, everybody knows depression is around feelings. So just have a think. Maybe if you do get depression, this could be a way for you to go. Now, that 3 months of membership, that gives you plenty of opportunity to test out Clarity. As I said, you've got a 30-day guarantee. So in 30 days, if you don't want it, that's fine. Send your Clarity box back. But then the 3 months, that's $324 of value. After that 3 months, you'll be charged on your monthly fee and of $27 a week, which comes to $108 a month. So, you know what really is your mental and your health and your life worth it? And just have a think about it, and I'd love you to come on board, provided you're willing to do the work. You know, I can't do the work for you. I'd love to be able to, but I can't. You've just got to release, and I'll show you everything that you need to know. And it's fun and it's easy, and you can have Clarity parties and get your friends round and, you know, go to business. I've got business, you know, because I'm predominantly a very successful businesswoman, I've got a business section of Clarity. So if you're stuck in your business, you can actually work out where to move forward, because Clarity, it'll tell you your future, it'll release baggage from the past, and it'll answer your questions in the now. So it does three amazing things, all as one package, and you can share this with friends, family, and people around you. So the way I see it is that you've got two choices, choice A, and then there's choice B. And of course, choice A is do nothing, and don't take this leap of faith, right? Do absolutely nothing. Or choice B is to jump on this tiny investment today, and compared to all the value you'll get in return, just give it a shot. See if it'll work for you. If it doesn't, for whatever reason, send Clarity back. You'll get your money back. There's no risk. You have nothing to lose but stress and headaches. And does this message apply to you? Life pushed me to become outrageous. The medicines didn't help, and they were deadly. What are you waiting to happen in your life before you choose freedom? Okay, I work with women, real women, who work with other women, mums, dads, coaches, consultants, business owners, children and families who want to create more abundance and freedom and happiness in their life. The number one reason why people don't get started is because you wouldn't know what your consciousness was if you fell over it. Good news. Everyone that uses Clarity connects to their consciousness. Then your consciousness releases the feeling, and that's just what happens. Now, membership for the Clarity Club, $297. The first 3 months are free. Then it's $27 a week membership billed monthly. Go to the website and order it now, right? Now, if all Clarity did was answer your questions, how much would that be worth? Better than your best friend, because you're the one answering the questions, because it's coming directly from your consciousness. If all Clarity did was show you how to connect to your consciousness, even if you're not a psychic, Wouldn't that be worth it? You know, if all clarity did was help you release your baggage just like magic, wouldn't that be worth it? You know, here's the bonus that I said at the beginning that I'd tell you at the end. And this is the real reason why I'm doing the work. I'm a light worker. I am here for humanity, and humanity is hurting. We are all one. We are all connected. There is no separation. We are all one people. Every single time I release for humanity because we are a collective consciousness. Every time you release for humanity because we are a collective consciousness. I just want that to sink in just for a minute. So you have people all around the world already releasing for humanity. They release for themselves, which makes their life better, but they have just lightened the load of humanity every time they release. And that's why I'm doing this one person at a time, because even if I only got one person to join the Clarity Club, that one person would release, and they would release for humanity, and that makes my heart sing. So yes, do it for yourself, do it for your family, friends and children, but you'll be doing it for humanity, and you'll be making the world a better place. And that's why I really want to enroll you to become a Clarity Club member. Okay, I'm going to also throw in something that you've all must have been sitting there thinking, oh my God, aren't I going to get a box of clarity cards and board set? Of course you are. And I'm going to include the postage as well, and I'm going to send them anywhere you are in the world. It doesn't matter, England, America, anywhere you are, even though I'm in Australia. So they're $97 value, and I'm going to throw the postage in as well. So you know, if you've got the 30-day guarantee, so if you don't like the product, send the board and card set back, and I'll refund your money without any problems whatsoever. Okay, so let's run through this one more time. Automatic clarity invites to events, priority readings. If you're not in the area, you'll get 3 over the next 3 months. Private Facebook support group, exclusive entry into the membership site, 8-part advanced video tuition, being chosen at an event if you're, you know, to have your question answered if you are coming to my events because you're in the area, and the invitation to become a Clarity certified reader and set up your own business around the Clarity Club. It's a prerequisite in becoming a certified reader. Now, you know, in that slide, did I show you that we actually, you get your own box of clarity, of course, and you get that 3 months of 3 months membership free. Okay, so break old habits. Now, habits are really hard to change. You know, I could leave the webinar right now and go and enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and I'm already successful. Clarity is already working for me, but this is not about me. This is about you. So if you leave now, you might think that you learned a lot of cool stuff, and my guess is that by tomorrow morning, you'll have already slipped back to your normal routines, trying to get the kids to eat breakfast so that you can get to work on time, you know, trying to get the husband to take the rubbish out, who knows what you do. You know, you'll just be doing what you've always done. And that's what some women do. They sit and bitch to their friends how crappy their lives are and choose not to make a difference. And is that you? Because if it's you, you are the person I need to come and join the Clarity Club now. Now, because I'm passionate about clarity, I'm not going to let you go back to your old habits. I'm going to make sure that you're successful, and I'll be here for you. So if you want real lasting change, you need repeated exposure to clarity, and that's what you'll get when you invest today. You know, I want to change the world one person at a time. I've taken my whole life to get here. So if you resonate with me, I guarantee you will get everything I have, which is over $2,000 in value. I will hold your hand every step of the way. This finally is a tool that connects you to your consciousness so you can feel the magic too. Something you can share with your friends and family that will change their lives too. Really, what is the value there for that? For me, it's priceless. My clients have told me that the biggest breakthrough has been the ability to change the way they feel under pressure or when they feel out of control. Now, I also do readings. They normally run for about an hour. If you want to work on something more personal, feel free to let me know and we can schedule time to connect. You know, this offer is definitely not going to be around for long. It's so much value for money. I'm just putting it out there because I'm so passionate about getting people on board, and I don't want money to be the thing that is stopping you from coming and releasing your baggage. So because I'm your coach and your fellow human being and your mentor, I'm not going to let you go back to your own habits. I'm going to make sure that you are successful, and we're going to start breaking those habits. So if you want real lasting change, you need repeated exposure to clarity. And that's what you'll that's what you'll get when you're investing in me today. So let's just recap what the offer is. Automatic invites to events, webinar priority reading if you're not in the area, private Facebook support group, exclusive entry into the membership site, 8-part advanced video tutorial, being chosen at the event if you are in the area to have a personal release done with me, an invitation to become a Clarity certified reader, and you have to be a club member before you can become a certified reader. It is a prerequisite, and Clarity card and board set, which I'm going to ship anywhere in the world, and I'm going to give you 3 months of membership for free. Total value $2,647, and all this simply for $297 plus your $25 a week membership. But I'm giving you 3 months so that you can experience clarity. Now, if you're still on the fence, now's the time to open your browser window. Here it is here. Remember, there's no risk. There's 100% money back guarantee. And, you know, the only way you're going to know if it's right for you if you get started right now. Wouldn't you like to be one of those success stories that I told you about? You know, and I'm the biggest success story that I know, and I've never ever found anything like this that's changed my life the way it has. And I can do it on the fly every single day, driving in a car, at the supermarket. If someone gets on the phone and, you know, the call doesn't go the way you want, as soon as I'm off the phone, bang, I release and it's gone. It's a wonderful way to live your life, and you can do it too. So I really, really hope that you come on board. Come on board now. This offer truly is not going to be around forever. Everybody says, look, it's just too cheap, and I know how reasonable it is, but I am so committed to help humanity one person at a time that I'm putting it at this price point just for the moment to get people on board, just to see the power of clarity. Anyway, can't wait to see you on the other side. Jump on to the website and do your order, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you so much for watching this webinar, and I look forward to meeting you in the future. Bye.